Live. Live, 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 live. Ooh, excuse me. We are live. We are back. Seth is out taking a piss.
Yep, yeah, I need to turn down the volume now. There we go.
Okay, so we got the looking. There is another Kamen Rider. We almost decided to do it, but we're going to knock out this specifically because we just ended on a damn high note for the riders.
And we don't want to potentially ruin the
So we want to go on another high note.
Hopefully.
In
or
theory.
Mostly. I know most all of these.
Yeah.
Question. Did you get the musical? He's going to get a low score.
There's going to probably be a handful of low scores on here.
Because holy shit.
Because unfortunately, some of the same costume carries over into some boy series.
Oh, I know.
Boy!
I know.
I'm sorry.
So in which case I had to carry those over too.
Boy, do I fucking know. So, we will be a little late with the Sethery because he has to do the piss. So, Reploid Bill, William Bush.
Seth is taking a piss. Scott Action Jackson.
Shane McCree, Proto Guy.
Nick the Lone Paladin. I'm not late this time. Because I'm here.
Whoop! We are starting here on our journey through the Superman.
Supermen. Do.
We're gonna get that Nicolas Cage picture.
Do.
Fuck.
You forgot the Nicolas Cage picture. It's okay. That's
It's
what
not
the
that hard
power
to
of
find.
Google is.
It's not
It's
that
true.
hard to find.
Okay, look. We are starting in 1948 through 1950 with Kirk Alyn. Oh, yeah.
So good.
Theatrical serials. Now, I will say, this is a theatrical serial, just like Batman got. For some reason, and maybe it's just because of the way Superman is, a Superman transferred to these way better than Batman transferred to his. Way better. Here we are. He's flying, Shane. I'm flying. You like the power of light?
Here, listen.
That's telekinesis, Kyle.
To be fair, you can tell that there's two people at each end holding the cape up.
But what about the power? Movie.
Listen, it's the 40s, so I'm gonna let it slide on the flying.
History of Wonder
Here's a nice
Guy
profile
and
of
this
him.
Superman.
Hair, decent. Chin. Could be. His chin could use work. For me, Superman is that he's more of that cliche. He's big. He's got that
Chiseled.
defined chisel. Like, it works. This guy's not awful from what I'm seeing.
It's also the 40s, like
yes.
I said. And you know what?
And from
the comic was only out for so many years.
From looking at our Batman that we got, Shane,
This is a fucking monumental.
physical fitness was not first on their minds when making these series. Because remember our Batman.
Woo, man, he's got big huggies.
Damn.
Yes, his trunks are kind of extreme.
What kind
Also,
of underwear does... Wait, what
the
year is this again,
Superman,
Bill?
40s?
This is
40s?
48. This is 48 to 50.
What kind of undies does 1948 Superman wear? It depends.
Now, Shane,
Nowadays.
he is wearing a sweater.
Oh, I saw that. I saw that his suit is nothing.
Later on in the comics, to pay homage to this guy, there are some comic books where if you're paying attention, they will do those sleeves, and they are like a sweater look. It's early in the comic books, but they did that a little while to kind of pay homage to him.
It's not bad.
I mean, we've seen worse costumes.
I'm loving the black and white color scheme.
Right?
because it's not color. But we already know what Superman wears.
This was pre-Technicolor.
But we already know that
Shane.
he wears
Yep.
red and blue. So we. Hey,
And we
Oh,
can
man.
easily tell which one's going to be red and
Here
what
comes
one's going to be
peeping
blue.
Superman. I saw you saw me looking at you. Figured I'd just cut out the middle.
yeah,
I
All
just
right,
let myself
fucking-
in.
All right, fucking Jim Dark Magic Superman, get the fuck out of here.
Superman.
I couldn't help but noticing you noticing me.
Yeah, I couldn't help but notice you noticing me.
And I'm,
I
notice-
decided to come
and
right
I'm
in.
noticing that you haven't used the door.
Yeah.
Hey
Well,
guys, I saw your window was open. Just want to stop in and say, hey.
what can I say? I'm super.
God damn it.
Next.
My God.
He doesn't cut an awful figure
Better than fucking
for
beer
what we
gut
got.
Batman.
For what we got
Yeah,
in
it's
our
still
Batman.
better than beer
yeah,
gut
No
Batman.
shit.
Dad bod Batman was not great.
That's him. We're done with him.
You know what? It's 1948.
I'll give him a 4.
You know what?
I don't mind it. I
You
like
have
it.
to set a standard
I don't hate him. I think you're right. I think
because for
I
live
may be able to land on a. Okay, the sleeves. We're going to go 3.7. I think he is very solid for his time. In fact, he cuts a much more dashing figure and believable figure than what we saw with our Batman.
Yeah.
I am going to tell you this because it's the 40s, and I believe that he's the first live action man to put on the Superman costume.
I believe he is. Is the Mole Men after this?
Yeah.
Yes, then he was the
so
first.
because all you had was comic books.
The Mole Man is the one that often gets credit for being the first for some reason, though.
And because live action, you had no standard. He started it.
Yeah.
Give this man a 4 because you
All right,
have
hold
to
on.
because you have to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Because and when you're the OG, you tend to get a higher not Batman. You tend to get a higher
Not
score.
Batman.
Well, yeah, like in Batman, that's another thing too. Like, I can look at him and I can see the face, and there's no problem. I have no problem saying that's Superman. I like his cape. I like that it's attached.
He's a super guy. It's fine.
Now, if you want me to critique it just a little
His
bit,
belt doesn't even bother me. It's very comic book. It's got that little round buckle right
but you
here.
know what?
And
No,
it's straight.
I can't critique it because once again it's the 40s.
Wait,
And
wasn't the
big-ass
40s with-
underwear must have been a thing?
Wasn't
Well, there were
1940s
trunks.
where we had crooked
Yeah.
Batman belt?
1949.
Because if you were watching
So
wrestling
yeah,
back then,
his
this would be.
belt's straight.
That's because next year the world gets crooked.
If you
Oh,
were
okay.
if you were watching wrestling back then, that's what you would have seen. Those are trunks.
Yep.
He's even wearing the same kind of boots.
Yeah,
they're
that's
they're
what-
tied up
that's
the
what-
side.
That's what like the circus folk wore.
Yep.
Those, like,
That
those-
was what he was. He was wearing essentially a strong suit back
yeah,
then.
yeah. And that's fine. I mean, okay. If he was in today's time, no, that's not acceptable.
Like right there, that's a damn fine image actually. I can see it. I have no problem saying that's a black and white Superman.
Yep. Okay, what'd you get?
Yeah, Seth missed out on Bill's score. He was doing his daily.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I was 3.8. I
Okay.
think he's very solid.
I'm going 3.
Shane?
4.
Yeah, I'm at a 3.5. Okay. And then what did Nick give?
4.
4. Okay. So that's
That was the
what-
first one.
3.66.
I held the smoking gun.
Okay, we are going on to George Reeves. Now this, George Reeves, just to put it into perspective, this is 1951 to 1958. He is what is considered to be the Superman of an entire generation. That's not an exaggeration.
Is he related to Christopher Reeves?
No.
Okay.
No, but that's an often
I had
question.
to ask.
We occasionally keep saying Christopher Reeves when it's Christopher Reeve.
Yeah,
Oh, I
that's
guess
what
that's
what
true.
messes people up. There's Reeve and Reeves, and it is kind of an irony that both these men became the Superman for a generation of fans.
And their last
Yeah.
names are only separated by one letter.
Yes, this man
An S.
literally brought Superman into the home
That
and
was
made him a
perfect.
normal name.
Christopher Reeve, George Reeves. They're separated by one letter, and
An
it happens
S.
to be an S.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Somebody planned that. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
yeah, I forgot. I had to either award or subtract points for the last common writer to the guy that gave them to us. he gets 100 Shane chat points.
Remember, 1 million points.
You
get
need 100 million
100.
chat points to have Shane come give you a hug.
Yes, this is the man that would be right alongside things like. Oftentimes, his show would be on first, and Batman would follow it.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were playing him still in reruns, even at that time. So oftentimes, you'll actually hear people like Kevin Smith talk about it when they were growing up. They would play Superman on television, and they would directly follow it with Batman.
Kind of like the
And
comics.
Batman would make a big deal about it. When it posted its logo, it would say, in color. That was kind of their, fuck you. Yeah, because
Superman
this
and
is the
Mole
Mole
Man.
Man.
And I don't know why he's got that
Oh,
weird
wait.
S on it.
This is a poster. So there's no telling what was really going on there.
Well,
if that
considering
was added.
it was black and white when it's shown in the theater or whatever. So
Well, you see, that's just it, is that it was black and white. Oh, you would actually come across this if you look at old movies. Sometimes when they're trying to get a certain color from the black and white, if you think it's like a red or something like that, it'll be a completely different color because they know that they need like if I remember right, there was a Superman costume that was gray, and the reason was because they were going to film in black and white, so you were never going to see the costume anyway.
Mm-hmm. It's one of those things where it's a hell of a lot easier just to kind of go with
The
an
tint.
alternate, like a tinted or alternate colored costume, so that way then the black and white would actually show properly because certain colors didn't show correctly.
Yeah, what I
And
kinda
later
think-
on,
yeah.
as an homage to that, there are actually Superman costumes that are gray.
Yeah. That's kind of like the reason why it is that they almost killed, was it Batgirl they almost killed because they literally wanted her to be green on Star Trek and had to keep going back and redoing it because the guy didn't
No, it's the first girl.
Was
The
it?
first
Okay.
the first girl in the very first episode of Star Trek, the pilot, the guy thought something was wrong with the film. They would send it to him. She was painted green, and he was like, "What the fuck?" So he would fuck with the hues and everything and kind of try to get her skin under control, print it, and send it back. And they were like, "What the fuck?"
I don't
She
know.
must need to be greener, so they repaint her and tell her to dance again.
I don't know if you remember this, Bill, but backways in the DC Comics when they had that Supermen crossover, I thought I saw a green Superman there.
A green one?
Yeah, like a greenish gray. So
It's possible.
Yeah.
Next.
You know, what'd been really cool. They couldn't do it in this time period, but because it's black and white, it would have been cool. They could have got some kind of like a Sin City thing,
Right.
where certain things were red.
Right.
That, you know, that
so a
would
bit
have been.
Dick Tracy-ish.
Now
Yeah.
you could
Were-
tell, like
were
you could tell
certain
that
things
this is
were
literally
yellow?
sewn
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
Yeah.
This
Yep.
S is literally sewn on to a shirt.
Mm-hmm.
You could tell it's not a part of it.
But
You
remember,
can also tell that this is definitely of its time because Superman is kind of out of shape, in shape.
Yep. He's got the
remember-
dad thing going, but he still cuts a more impressive frame than our Batman did.
Right.
but to be honest with you, he only had one other guy to take
Right.
any notes from, and like I said, he's the one that everybody remembers.
Yes.
He's
Right.
the one that everyone thinks that was the very first Superman.
Right.
So I have to apologize ahead of time.
For what?
Right now. Like Nick brought up, I did not get Nic Cage Superman.
Aww.
I did get.
I didn't bring that up. Bill did.
Oh, Bill. I did get Ben Affleck as this Superman.
Yes.
Yep.
And I will definitely talk about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mole Man.
He's holding him like a baby.
Oh, there's that old fly-in. This has got nothing to do with what our show does here, but when he used to come into the room, what he would do is at first they hung him on a wire. They flew him in. Well, one night when they were doing that stunt, the wire broke and he fucking fell.
Ow.
And he said, "You're not putting me on that shit again." And they were like, "Well, look, I understand." He said, "No, fuck you. We're not fucking doing it again. Never will you put me in that fucking harness ever again for the rest of my motherfucking life." He said, "From now on, my Superman does not fly in." He said, "Give me a bar, I'll make it happen." So they hung a bar just off stage, and whenever he was meant to fly in, he would run as fast as he could, jump up, grab the bar, swing his big ass, and fucking fly into the room and land. And be like, I'm Superman, bitch. And that became a famous entrance for the show, that he would always fly into like a heavy landing. Like his Superman was landing, boom! And later on, homage to that, we get the Supermans that land hard like that. They come down like, doo! And the little wind comes off. That was him.
Like in Superman Returns.
That's where that came from.
Where he lands on that kryptonite island. That's it.
That's it.
Well, no.
Oh, no, I was going to say, there's no way that's it. Yes, that's a thing.
There was a weird crossover with I Love Lucy.
It was in the I Love Lucy show. There was a weird episode where he appeared like outside her apartment, and I'm going to be honest, I do remember I've seen it. I don't remember much about what was going on.
Yeah, I don't either. I forgot if it was like, I think it was like after she had a child in the show.
But that's the time you're talking about.
Lucy!
That's 8 images.
What is
so
Superman doing here?
find one to stick on here. Yeah, he was, if I remember right, he was made color after the fact.
Yeah.
I believe his color started showing up when they started doing the redistribution, the Technicolor remasteries and shit like that. Because if you talk to people like people that grew up in that time, they'll tell you that Superman would come on and it was in black and white. And there were television stations that weren't showing it in color. It was just a black and white series. And like I said, it would be followed by Batman. And there were a bunch of people that were like, oh, the Batman show is so much better
Because
of color.
Because I think the only time you would have seen this in color is if you saw the Lucy episode in color.
And even that was actually filmed in black and white,
Yeah.
and that I think was digitally retouched for Technicolor shit.
So
And-
to answer the question
and just
real
to
quick,
put this out here so that you can hate him a little bit more, George Lucas was one of the men that stood against the Technicolor remastering of classics and said, classic films are art and should not be modified and not be redesigned and not be touched up because they're fucking art.
now
Leave
let's
them alone.
fuck with Star Wars.
Now I'm going to remake my Star Wars movie every fucking year for the rest of my goddamn life.
Anyways, the S on Superman's chest is supposed to stand for hope. It's the Kryptonian symbol for hope.
Until they make it look like an 8.
That was added.
But on
That's
this,
the current canon.
but on this planet, that's an S.
Stands for Super Guy.
So
Just in
Stand-
case you couldn't remember the blue-clad dude
It stands
flying.
for
No, it
You're
stands.
a 4 on this guy?
It stands for
I
shit.
look at the time periods.
You know, the
Except
thing
for-
that's the supervillains say. And they see him show up.
Except for the 70s Spider-Man. I don't give a fuck what decade it is. Your ass.
I'm going 3.
I'm into 3-5.
He was the second guy to set a standard.
I'm going to put him at a 4 because I do think he's better than the last guy. But I
He's
think
about
that
the
comes
same
down to
still.
how much exposure. And later on, and this is just influence throughout the years, later on they would actually redesign Superman. Different artists would often redesign the Superman look to be this guy. In fact, I think it's Alex Ross is famous for when he draws Superman, it's him. You'll even notice that later on in this guy's career, the cape would like drag down on his back, and you would see that like him.
I'll give him a 4 too.
Okay. So
4 also, I should say.
I know, and 3.7 for that one.
Okay, we're done with that guy. Let's move on to Johnny Rockwell, 1961.
And I did find 4 random Nic Cage Supermans and threw them in the meeting group. So
The first Superboy.
Huh. I mean, the costume is it's costume. What's the next picture, Bill? That doesn't help either.
There
Okay,
you go.
nope. He just lost a lot of points. We don't need fucking Fonzie hair Superman.
This was their first attempt
At
at
a
a Superboy series, and I don't remember it going past a pilot. I think that this was just a one thing. I could be wrong. I'm nowhere near a Superman expert, but I don't remember this getting off pilot level.
Yeah, the only thing I saw was an unaired pilot. So
And most all of my information and things that I've learned of Superman was because I bought a study of superheroes A&E fucking documentary, and I watched that, and then I bought all of the Superman movies on that giant crazy Blu-ray collection, and because of the kind of person I am, I watched every single extra, and that's where most of my knowledge comes from with this. I like Superman. I'm nowhere near an expert.
I think the S is a little more accurate.
It's just time changes
Yeah.
because this is 61.
He gets a 1.
I'll second that.
Yeah,
There's
Fonzie
something
hair
about him.
Superman is dumb.
one.
There's
He,
something
he
about him
literally
I'm not
looks like
caring
he's
for.
about to walk over and bash on the hood just to get the fucking car to start going, hey!
Hey, he gets a 1.
Okay, so I guess I'm gonna be the only one who's kind of all right with this guy. I guess so. I'm gonna give him a 2.5 because the costume does look okay. Like it looks like it should, but eh. So 1.3. Moving on.
Okay.
Get that Fonzie Superman the fuck out of here,
Our
Bill.
next is going to be Bob Holliday. This is going to be 1966 to 1968. Doop-a-doo and whatnot.
Okay.
That's the more...
The guy on the right is trying too hard.
It's the same guy, Shane. And the reason why the guy on the right's trying so hard is he's getting a blowjob.
Wrong.
I mean, that's
Next.
accurate.
Not the worst.
No.
No.
We've seen worse.
Pretty bad. Still
What
kind
the
of bad.
fuck?
He's just chilling in a recliner.
I'm going to be honest. I don't remember what this is from. I don't remember Holiday.
I
At
kind of
all.
wish I could forget Holiday now. I'm going to give him
Wow.
like a 1.5. He's slightly better than Fonzie hair.
Okay. Hold on.
He does not cut a good Superman.
I feel sorry
Oh.
about the Superboy now.
Oh, he's the Broadway musical.
Oh, I do know him then. I do know the musical.
Then there was wasn't there like one other
There's
Broadway?
another one that's really infamously bad, but this is the first guy to do the musical.
Okay, well, you know what?
The next guy, oh my God. This guy didn't do much better to look. Give him a 2. I'm going to go pay for cookies and be right back.
Okay, fair
Pay
enough.
for cookies.
I have to buy Michelle's cookies.
I want cookies.
Wait, why would you have to buy your wife's cookies? Don't you get those for free?
No.
She's buying cookies from Jeremy's wife.
Oh, Girl Scout cookies. I
Yeah.
thought he was talking like cookies, because you're married, you get those free.
Not when you're in debt and you need money.
So your wife bribes you for sex
I
with?
own cookies now.
I was up here making a sex
I
joke.
was-
and
I know
nobody
what
was
you were
listening.
doing.
I was about to be like, hey, dude, does she have spares with her? Because I'll buy some cookies.
Girl Scout cookies.
Is she still down there?
3.
She's down there.
All right, I'll be back.
Go see what you can do.
Nick,
I'll agree to a
rate.
3. Hold on, what's your score?
I already gave it.
Oh yeah, that's right. You gave a 1.5.
Fuck that guy.
So I got a 1.5, a 2, a 3, and a 3. So I think I'm missing Shane. 1.5. Okay, so that's a 1.5, which equals that. We divided by. He's a 2.2 for a Broadway musical.
That takes us to 1975. David Wilson.
Uh-oh.
Oh, it's him.
And if it wasn't for the fact that I'm broke, I'd go buy
It's
some
a
cookies, too.
bird. It's a plane. It's disappointing.
Wow. So 0.5. Okay,
There you go, Shane.
Got it. Okay,
Look at
that's
his-
on his list.
Look at his long S, man.
I'm agreeing with Shane.
The sad thing
Oh,
is that's
that
Miss
how-
Scarlet.
Is that how Bob Saget got his start? Is being the fucking fill-in?
My God.
That's it. That's
Thank God.
I thought I got the image of him on the couch talking to the guy, but I guess I don't.
I actually think that.
You might have it. Might have accidentally
Listen,
gone
man,
into
you
the
know
wrong
my pet
folder.
peeves. You know my pet peeves. I think that S is crooked.
There's 5, so that's
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay,
Nope.
never mind then.
There you go. Rate that
Already
guy.
did. Me
Already-
and Shane are giving him a 0.5.
Already did. I saw the derp in this and had to.
Yeah, I'll back that. This guy is sad.
Yeah, I'll
He
agree.
doesn't
So
even
we're all
look-
in agreement. He's a 0.5 because there's no Nick.
Yeah, let's
So we're
get
just
that.
gonna say a 0.5. Nick got spared ass.
Okay, we were going on to Christopher
Oh,
Reeve.
Wait. We gotta wait for Nick for this thing.
This is 1978 to 1987.
Actually, Nick's already knows this guy.
Nick
so-
already knows this one.
Okay.
Superman, evil Superman.
Yep. Yes, it was. There he is, Shane. Damn,
Oh, this
dude.
is this is an easy one. This is an easy one. Give this man a 5.
Dude, I know that it makes me look like a fucking fanboy or some sort of cliche, but it's like they fucking ripped him off the paper, dude.
Yep.
They could not have done better. They really could not have done better. It is unreal how much Superman he looks. He doesn't have to even try to be Superman.
This is literally the
I don't
most
know.
iconic Superman in cinema.
Right.
Now, the movies, they haven't exactly aged with perfect grace.
No.
You're talking the 70s and 80s. I mean, yeah, you can tell that it's faker than a motherfucker.
Right.
But even nowadays movies, I can tell if it's faker than a motherfucker.
And you could tell by
Yeah.
the way we've gotten into superhero movies where, like, if you watch the first Superman movie, he does nothing. He doesn't really do anything. He stops a helicopter from falling, and he pushes a missile, and then he does super things, like he pushes rocks.
Well, he also reverses
Time by flying.
He just does super things. Nowadays, we're all about that villain moment, and basically when he gets to Luthor, he pushes him. Get out of
Yeah.
here.
Well, let's be real. Luthor's
I-
a normal guy. That's all you need.
So that hurts him in terms of a movie sense, but
the thing is, I love This Is My Superman.
and that's good and fine.
On
But
the
those
big
movies
screen.
have not aged well, and you yourself gave
I
it a
know.
lower score than I did when we reviewed the movie.
Yeah, I know.
Like, he is fucking Superman, but
Right.
his movie is hurtful. In terms of today, he has trouble standing out
the
when he throws
S.
S shields and
yeah.
Okay, that's dumb, but you know.
yes,
I don't know. Like I said, I mean, as Superman, yes, I will agree he is Superman, but my only big problem with him is while, yes, he plays Superman well, he doesn't really play Clark all that well at times. There are times where he'll get a little bit more
Actually-
The Clark
cocky.
is-
He
Clark
plays
is
Clark
fun.
very well.
I think it's easy to mistake one man for the other man.
Well, no, not so much that. I mean, because Kent is more supposed to be like not so much sheepish,
I'm back.
but there are times
I
where
have
he will
cookies.
literally like jock boy like go fuck yourself kind of a moment. And it's like
Nowadays that's true. I don't think that was true back when his
well, no,
early
I'm
stuff.
I'm thinking more like movie like 3 or 4, but at the same time those movies are kind of out there when he's like I kind of don't care anymore.
You mean like this
So, I mean,
Superman?
Yeah. Kinda
No,
like this one.
I have an argument for this movie. I do, man. I actually think, in terms of the way comic book movies were done, you couldn't just make Bizarro back then. They had to find some weird. You got to think of the time. People were into that psychedelic shit. And it was
Yeah.
very psychedelic to watch him have this weird fight where he stepped out of himself. It was just a product of its time, in a way that made Bizarro for the time that it was in, and he looks the part.
Right.
Like, they didn't do him all white and crazy and make him weird and but like, he is evil, he is set apart, and his acting style sets these two apart. Even during the fight when he's fighting Clark and he's disgusted with himself and his self is trying to resurface, like, there's an argument to be made that fight didn't happen. That it was all in his head as he was reckoning with who he was to bring himself back from the edge. And that was a figment of the time that they did that kind of shit.
And that's from the fourth.
And that's from the fourth movie.
Yeah, that movie sucks. Fuck Nuclear Man.
So,
Nice try, you fat fuck. Bill, would you like a
You
cookie?
don't buy my favorite cookies when I don't have money for cookies, damn it.
I'll take one. Okay, so here it is. You already set a 5 on the Superman Reeves.
Oh, it's like I told you, he is the most iconic Superman.
I will drop a 5 here. And just aesthetically, I'm telling you, nobody else looks like him. He looks like they ripped him off the fucking page. I could pull comic books off that fucking shelf. And you can look right at it and be like, oh, my God, what the fuck?
You know what they didn't do? Because it was in the 80s comic, and he did have movies in the 80s. They didn't give him that stupid mullet.
Thankfully.
They didn't give him...
No, that's Nic Cage Superman.
Yeah, he would have had the damn mullet one. And let's be real, Reeves would not have looked good with the mullet.
Yeah.
But he does look perfect, even with the swirl in his hair.
Right.
Which was a thing they did back then.
That's why I think that he played Clark Kent so fucking well, because he was a bumbling buffoon.
Right.
You don't act in the
Right. But
second movie? Yeah.
Yeah.
Second movie where he trips and he puts his hand in the fire. Yep. And Lois is like, "What the fuck?"
Right.
He
Right, and that's what I was kind of talking about earlier. Like, he plays it okay, but there are moments where he stops being Kent and is like, "Wink not, I'm Superman. Go fuck yourself." Like, attitude problem. It's like,
but they'd been doing
That's
that
not
since
Clark.
The Fletcher cartoons, where they'd be like, where Clark would often be like, "Boy, it's a good thing Superman was there. I'd have been no help." Like, there's
no, I don't even mean that. Like, there were times where like Clark would literally.
I know
just,
what you're talking about.
Yeah,
He was an asshole.
Yeah.
And but then again,
I remember
that's bled into the Superman nowadays.
I remember one of those cartoons where he said, "I don't know, maybe I am Superman. Maybe." Grinning.
But but he's talking about Clark was a vindictive dick
Yeah.
at times. Like in Superman 2, after he gets his ass beaten, he goes back to beat that dude's ass. There's no point to that. That's not Superman.
Yeah, exactly.
Superman isn't about seeking revenge, and neither is Clark. But they did it because that was the time, and that's what they wanted for the movie. That makes Clark look like an asshat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So because of shit like
And
that,
because of that, that has bled into future movies
Yep.
where like Clark fights a redneck in a bar and then fucking impales his fucking truck on power poles and shit like that because Clark is an asshat.
Right.
Somebody threw water in his face.
Yeah.
Right. So because of stupid shit like that, I do have to be a hater.
But that's not
I give
aesthetic.
him a 4.8 as a hater.
But that's not aesthetic. The show is about the suits and stuff. Attitude and stuff wise, whether or not you like how he is, that's not
You're
aesthetic.
really trying to fight him to get this 5.
Well, no, but that's the thing. That's what this show is. And
Yeah.
yes, Clark could be a dick.
Yes.
That's not an aesthetic. That's a personality trait.
Yeah.
So just looking at his costume.
Okay. Let me kill Bill your ass for a fucking minute.
Oh no.
Okay, go ahead.
How is Superman different than every other superhero?
He has a big S on his chest.
He's the Boy Scout.
The American way.
Clark Kent is his disguise.
Right, yes. So he is Superman. Clark Kent is the disguise.
Bruce Wayne
Bruce
is
Wayne
his
is
disguise.
his disguise.
So the
Well,
argument
yeah,
is
fair
actually invalid.
Yeah, you just lost
I'm
that
just
fight
quoting
immediately.
goddamn
I know.
mother
And they
cocksuckers.
thought they were really
Quoting
clever.
mother cocksuckers.
They thought they were really clever when they made that argument inside of
Right.
Kill Bill, and it kind of worked until you were a comic book fan and you were like, actually,
Actually, no, because Batman and
you were like, there's a lot of heroes that play that game.
Right. But
Kiki?
again, that's kind of what it is. I'm saying
Kiki.
is you can't go without, like, you can't critique one without the
Oh.
other. And even though we don't have any Kent
Bill?
pictures here,
Bill?
One.
well, okay, we have one. But again, that
You're like,
plays into
I'm not gonna say no.
Kent. That is part of the costume and the design. So that's the only reason I'm dropping it, and that's the only reason why I'm dropping it by literally 0.2 fucking points.
Where are you with this?
5.
Really? Evil Superman got a 5 as well.
No, not evil Superman.
That's what we're on right there.
I thought we were giving scores for the normal
We
Superman.
just did. And
That's what I was doing. I was giving
Oh,
scores.
Yeah.
for some reason, I thought you'd
No.
already done it
No,
because
no,
I
no,
thought
no.
the second picture you'd already said 5.
So anyway, 4.96 for Reeves Superman.
It's going to be incredibly hard to beat. You have to get a perfect score to beat
Exactly.
this. Bizarro?
Emo Superman.
Let's be real for a minute.
No, he's not emo Superman.
He's not emo.
Yeah.
That's
Okay,
not
okay.
emo.
Dark Superman.
Well,
Even that's not true.
No,
Bizarro's-
he's reverse Superman.
Bizarro's the reverse of everything that Superman is.
Yep.
No, here it looks like it's a dark Superman. There you
Yes, but like
Right.
like Bill said, the time
Dark
they
Superman's Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
go.
If you want to get technical,
And his
that's
CG
not even
mustache.
dark. That's not Dark Superman. It's not Bizarro. That is a Superman, which later in the comics is proven black kryptonite will split super people into two people. Case in point, Lex Luthor used black kryptonite on Supergirl, and she split into two entities, a dark Supergirl that wears black and silver, and a Supergirl that wears blue and red. And those two did clash on the moon.
They also changed it up again where it just immediately flips your moral compass
Yes.
to the direct opposite.
So what happens is he tries to create kryptonite. It doesn't work. Whatever that compound came out to be, it was a type of weird reverse kryptonite. So it's man-made kryptonite, and it didn't take his powers away. It somehow inhibited everything that he was and changed his personality. So he is all the negative things that Clark kept on the inside all these years, just like in Star Trek when the transporter accident gave us two Kirks, and one of them was an asshat.
In the third movie, the Richard Pryor character could not identify a certain aspect of the meteorite, so he had to make something up.
And he used
Yep.
tar.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that changed the chemical composition of kryptonite. It still created kryptonite. And just like Superman, this fits the story. There's fucking pink, red, blue, purple, green. Fucking, there's all kinds of kryptonite. So once again, it is viable that there would be a dark green kryptonite, and who knows what it does. Maybe it turned off his moral inner code.
But you know what? I'm just gonna call him Bizarro.
Right. It's the easiest way to do it. That's how they
Yeah.
got around making a Bizarro back in this time.
But-
you couldn't have just put Bizarro into the movies. Case in point, they tried to do that with fucking Nuclear Man, and it sucked because the world wasn't ready for that kind of shit, nor was a director ready to take it seriously.
But because the costume is literally the same, it's just darker colors.
Which is why I say dark Superman.
Like I said, that's the only thing that it is. It's just a darker blue.
I'm still a 5. I
Yeah.
think that for what they did here, I'm telling you, I know people don't like
I
it.
know.
I watched the third movie. I honestly do. I don't hate it the same
under
way
your foot.
other people do because I think
I
that Superman
find it
was,
to be head scratching at times. But
I always thought that Superman was goofy and ridiculous, even in the first film, even in the second. Like, you're talking about the same movie where he pinned Non under a fucking an antenna,
no matter which
and they were
version
like,
of the second one
he
you look
caged
at, yeah.
Non. And then not just that, but you're talking about the same movie where the evil Superman is so dumb he tried to fly and fell in a hole and killed himself. You're talking about the same movie universe where he threw an S off of his chest and caused a minor inconvenience. The same movie where we spin a hillbilly around in a chair like a tornado and then push him down the fucking thing and then make the excuse working out. Like, it was always goofy and dumb. The third movie isn't any different than the first two.
But remember this, Bill. There is one man that will never kneel before you.
Who is this imbecile?
You
So
will
anyway,
kneel before Zod.
So anyway, I'm presuming everybody else is a 5. I bumped mine up to a 5. He's a 4.8.
Yeah. Okay.
So he's in second place.
We are moving down to John Hames Newton, This is going to be 1998 to 1989, 1988 to 1989.
I was about to say, shit, we're going back in time now?
I think this is the
Fuck.
Superboy show.
Yeah,
And it
this
is. It's the Superboy television
This
series.
is the first Superboy in the Superboy show.
first one to get a series.
Yeah.
He looks better than the last guy.
This
Yeah,
kid,
he looks better than the last guy that was quote-unquote Superboy
I
that had
think-
the Fonzie hair.
I think he died.
Yeah, something happened where they had to recast him, so.
I think this is where a lot of people started, like, with Chris, he died. Okay, sorry. George, he died. Chris got injured permanently. This kid died. That's where they started talking about the Superman curse.
Which kind of died out.
Because I believe this kid died. Was he shot? I cannot remember. I think he died.
I don't know. Hold on. How do
I'm
you spell
almost
the name?
positive. Damn it.
Sorry.
John Hames Newton.
Yeah, how do you spell Hames?
Haymes.
Just like
There we go. Okay. Blah 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 blah. Doing
my God.
things,
Oh
but
my God.
He's in
Dude,
shape.
look at his fucking six-pack.
That's what I was saying. He's fucking in shape.
Dude's got
Shit.
abs for days. And Bill, prepare to zoom in.
Yes, I already saw it.
I seen it.
For Shane, you must prepare to zoom in.
You can't on these.
Zoom in. Oh, that's I
no,
forgot. That's all the zoom we got.
This
I
guy
haven't gone
ain't
and
dead.
fixed it. He's not?
This guy ain't dead.
I thought the
What, he just
Superboy
got
guy
canned
died.
after one season?
I thought for sure one of the Superboys died. Well, if he's alive, I'm happy for him because I thought for sure one of the Superboys died. I remember reading about something.
Maybe the original Superboy, and that the Fonzie Superboy is dead
Oh, maybe.
I don't know.
because he only.
Because he was on Melrose Place and Beverly Hills 90210 and all
Yeah,
that
maybe
other
it was-
fucking dog
maybe
shit,
it was
so maybe
Fonzie.
it's
Okay, let's be
different
real.
one.
Let's be
Superman,
real.
but honestly, is it really that much of a loss?
Let's be real. He doesn't look bad. Let's be real. The costume is fine. I'm going to go ahead and give him a 3.9.
I'll second that.
I'll give him a
I'm
4.
fine with it. His show is awful. Don't
4.
watch it.
Didn't plan on it.
So fucking bad.
But we're like I said, we look at their costumes and not their show.
He's a 3.95 because I gave him a 3.95 so I could basic math the fuck out of it. But I still did the math.
Jared Christopher.
Yeah, this is the one who took over.
89 to 72.
Is this possibly him? I thought one of the Superboys died. This is Jared Christopher.
Looking again.
I don't know. I mean, it's weird that this guy took over the Superboy show.
There's no telling what happened. He might have tried to ask for more money, and they were like, "Who the fuck do you think you are? Get the fuck out of here. Your show sucks."
You're no Christopher Reeve.
Oh. Shane and Seth might like the last image on this in this folder. There we go.
Oh my gosh.
Is he with Sting?
Yep.
Yep. Nice.
Well, there he is.
Okay, well, once
Dramatic wind blow
let's
effect.
let's be real once again. The costume is a darker color, but it's not awful. By no means.
I'm at 3.6. I don't think he's. Body type can mean something as we get into the more vain
and looking
era
and
of
looking the
Superman.
part of Superman is an aesthetic.
Yes.
So he doesn't look the part of Superboy, not Superman.
I'll give him a 3.5.
I'm going to give the same as Nick.
Hold on, I'm still reading here.
3.5.
Yeah, they don't really have much on this dude, so I don't even know if he's the one who died or not. They literally have, like, next to nothing on that motherfucker. Okay, so what do we got?
Now I know George was found dead.
3.5.
George was found
and
dead.
He goes 3.5.
And there's argument that he did not shoot himself. There's argument that the lady he was seeing may have actually killed him.
Yeah, I'll agree to the 3.5. So what you got, Bill?
I said 3.6.
Okay. And then we divide by 3.62. Moving on.
Time to move to Dean Cain. Bam!
Woo!
What year is this?
This is Dean
90s.
Cain, so this is easily the 90s.
Go back to the first image. You'll see the years on.
We're looking at 1993, 1997.
Okay.
Yep.
A long-running series for its time, actually. This was the Adventures of Lois and
Okay,
Clark.
I was about to
Yep.
say Lois and Clark, right?
Yep.
Because I saw the dude's
was
face. I was like,
7
oh, okay.
seasons, I think.
He
Yeah.
flew the cape for Superman when nobody gave a fuck about Superman.
Yep.
He was so disliked, his comics didn't sell, nobody ever gave a fuck about him. They straight up fucking killed him in the comic books. Like, nobody gave
That
a
was
fuck
the
about
death
Superman.
of Superman around that era, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
this
Yep.
is also around the time that they told the studio that during this show that Lois and Clark were not allowed to get married because they were going to marry him off in the comic books.
Yep.
So they had to postpone. They built up to a moment where they were going to do it, and then they were told, actually, we're doing that, so you can't do that. And then they had to come up with one of those, oh no, we have problems, we'll put this on hold things.
Plot hole.
Exactly.
Yep. To create fake drama and a drama.
Okay. Oh, shit.
You got knocked the fucker out.
Dude, this show was so fucking goofy.
Mm-hmm.
I remember trying to take it seriously. I'd never watched it. I went back and tried to watch it when I was older, and I was like, oh, what the fuck is
I
happening?
mean, there were some serious moments, but
There was also moments where Superman got punched in the mouth.
Dude, it's not just this. This is actually where they started talking about the term cape, though.
Yep.
Cape became a term that had to be used because on set there were around 12 capes. There was a cape for when he was standing, a cape for when he would be walking, a cape for if he was flying, a cape that was considered heroic, a cape that was considered dramatic. That was so every cape had to be built differently because they wanted to guarantee scenes had different flow. So they had they would call it the cape, and they would have to take his cape off, and they'd be like, he needs to look heroic cape. That's like Cape 7. Put that cape on him. Yeah, that's where all that shit came from.
Because there was a light one so he could run and a heavy
Yep.
one so it would sit there, yeah.
So it would hang down further.
Yep. There was a longer one and a shorter one. Yeah.
See, this is where they bring in a bunch of other Kryptonians, and they change his costume.
Well, isn't he being put on trial for something right here? That's why he's in a different costume. That's like their prison costume.
Oh, man, I don't fucking
Yeah.
remember.
'Cause I
remember
think he gets sent into the Phantom Zone.
there were other Kryptonians that showed up. Man, this series, I'm gonna be honest with you, man, it was not for me.
so for this one, I think there's two suits that we
Son
had
of a
to
bitch.
rate.
6. Okay. So, we have to rate his first suit.
4.
3.5.
Once again, Superman has a very
Specific look.
specific look,
Yeah.
But
which actually
he doesn't really fit the part 100%.
Dean Cain looks better than a lot of the other people that we just seen.
Mm-hmm.
Not Christopher.
Obviously not.
Yeah, no, obviously not. But
At this point, no offense, I would probably say that he was the third best looking Superman, behind Christopher, who was number 1, George, who was number 2, and him at the time.
Let's see.
yeah.
4.5.
3.9.
Okay, who am I missing?
I'm willing to grant him a 4. For a television budget, there were times that I remember seeing this show and thinking that he looked the part. And then I look back on it, and there's something, I don't know how to put it, I don't remember him being in this kind of shape. Like, he looks like he's in decent shape, and he looks like the suit really does fit him. But then I remember watching the show and not thinking that was a thing. So I don't know.
It could be a picture thing where, he buffed up for the photos, and then during the show, he kind of let himself
He didn't have
go a
time
bit.
to do all the working
Yeah,
out and
exactly.
shit. Which is often why, before they film Rocky movies and shit, they'll do all the working out. They'll film the fight scene first.
Yep.
And then they'll let all the dramatic shit and whatnot play throughout the year while he's basically losing his muscle mass throughout the drama shit.
Right.
So now we go to black suit. Or?
So 3.98 for regular. And then if we drop the cape for that, I'm still at about a 4 myself.
I'm at a 3. I don't care. There's something about it that doesn't appeal to me.
3, okay.
3.
3, okay. Nikolai?
I already gave mine.
For the
black
black
suit?
suit?
Oh, black suit? It's the same. 3.5.
Okay. No, not a 0.5.
No, he's not that bad.
No, it's because my phone case, 3.3. I got like one of those phone cases that comes with the stupid little divot for your thumbprint identification.
Interesting.
It fucks with the buttons
Thumbprint
sometimes.
identification, please.
2001 to 2011, Tom Welling. Here we go.
That's
Superboy.
that's him in his underwear.
Yep.
That's from the first episode.
That's him in his underwear. That's him in his
Burned shirt.
Burn shirt.
See, the thing is, he never wore the costume, really.
He
That
kind of did at
was
the
his
very
costume.
end.
At the very end.
That
yeah.
was okay. That was his
that
costume
was
towards
his
the
costume.
end.
Yep.
But he had
Which,
another
honestly,
costume.
It's young Clark Kent.
That is his season 9
I
costume.
remember the Matrix costume.
He
We're
wore.
fucking edgy and new.
Spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't seen the show. He wore that after fucking Jimmy died. Blamed himself. Went to a darker costume.
So here's the thing. We got 2 costumes here to talk about. Because that's a shirt. That's naked. That didn't fucking happen. That is only in CG. There has never been an actual confirmed picture anywhere in the history of this show, not even stage pictures, that puts him in that costume. That never happened. These actually did.
I'm gonna put that costume.
3.8.
3.
It was the
Because
2.
I like the leather jacket.
I'm at a 2 because if you're a fan of Smallville, you were probably fine with this. I get that.
I
it's
actually
fine.
was a fan of
I was a
Smallville.
but
fan of
it's that's
I fought through the first couple of seasons, but
that's Clark Kent in a jacket.
that was also during the writer's strike.
That could literally be after Superman appears and they start selling Superman merchandise, of which he will never see any royalties. That's Superman in a jacket. Clark Kent in a jacket. It's a fucking 2.
Yeah, 2.
2.76.
Hot Topic Superman.
4.
2. That's Hot Topic Superman.
Because I like the duster.
Just because I know why.
He bought a duster from Goodwill, and then he got a Superman shirt
I bet it's a London fog.
that they were selling because no royalty Superman merchandise.
4.
In his universe, he never gets a goddamn penny from any of that.
Do you think
I think
this
Shane
Superman?
is the only one I missed.
Do you think this Superman, kind of without the British shit on it, looks like Manchester Black? Didn't he wear a fucking duster?
Yeah, that's pretty much Manchester Black's costume. Yes, you're looking right at it.
2.3. I gave myself a.
3.06 for the Shirtless Boy Network.
Then if you want to talk about that, you can, but I'm not even going to rate it because it didn't
It's
fucking
not
happen.
even a full costume.
No.
It's just, yeah.
That was CG'd over him.
Yeah, exactly.
There
Probably
was
had
that
like
whole,
a green shirt or something.
Well, and there was that whole Superman curse
Should
thing
we
going
should we throw
around,
in
so-
the Nicolas Cage here?
Yeah,
Yeah.
technically we should go to Facebook real quick and grab up the 4 Nic Cage photos I grabbed.
I suppose.
'Cause
I
I
really
think-
don't like flashing my Facebook on a live feed, though.
Hold on. Let me,
Just throw it in the Discord.
Throw it in my Discord.
Yeah, that's what I'm working on right now. Hold on. This is just gonna go in the main chat room. So 1,
Oh,
2,
by the way.
3, 4. Must resist urge to post titties because I'm on Discord.
That's right. resist thine urge.
There you go. It's in Discord.
Oh
Yes!
my God.
Nick Cage mullet super
By the way,
guy.
there's one above that one.
Yep, there is one above that one.
Oh my Lord.
He's the best! The best!
Oh, by the way, the list.
Hold on, are we still?
What? Hating on Nick Cage Superman? Like
look
that guy?
Look, even he. Oh my God.
Even Tim Burton,
Yep.
who's directing it, is like, ugh.
Yeah, even Tim Burton that is directing it is like, oh, what the fuck?
What the fuck was I thinking?
What the fuck, Japan? Oh wait, wrong show.
Oh my.
Loincloth, crotch.
Super Speedo. Banana
He
hammock.
just doesn't look the part.
I know.
I don't see I don't see
Also,
Superman.
we're in that-
I see Nicolas
We're also
Cage.
in that
Right.
super armor phase too,
Yep.
where they're doing the same thing they did with Batman, where they give him one of those Sculpey suits.
Because this was supposed to follow alongside with the Batman, because this was supposed to be like Death in Return.
What are we doing?
2.5.
Oh, I'm at a 1. This is fucking
He's better
awful.
than Fonzie Superboy.
This only has one thing that
I'm
makes
at
it
a
stand
2.
out. There are many memes that can be created from this awfulness,
there-
and that
Yep.
is it.
There is another costume
I
that,
saw
that
the
does
black
light up
one.
and stuff. Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah, there's
didn't
a-
find that. I
there's
just
a
grabbed
black-
shit at
I
random.
There's
know.
a black suit costume for him
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
Black
otherwise,
suit actually looks better
I'm
for
just
him.
dropping ones across the board for Nicolas Cage Superman.
Fair enough. So we do that.
Bad.
He's at a 1.3, so we saw him. You can't complain, chat.
Still better than Fonzie.
Brandon
Superman.
Roth time. We're going 2006, 2019.
I'm going to let you know now. This is my Superman that I like.
So this is going to have both Superman Returns and Crisis.
Okay.
Remember how I
Oh,
told
yeah, because he did come back
Yeah.
as Brandon.
Remember how I told
Superman.
you that Dean Cain was the third best looking
How well
Superman?
did that
Right.
go? Because
Now.
he's also the Atom.
We're at our second best looking Superman.
You have to watch it, and no, it's not awkward. It's fucking brilliant. They even mess with each other when it comes to that because he's not playing. Okay, he's Brandon Rolfe, of course, playing both people, but he's playing the Atom, and then at the same time,
He's also playing.
he's actually playing Reeves because he's playing off. He's this Superman still continuing in that world, except he's went back to the Reeves costume with some modifications. And when they meet each other and they both look alike, they will even talk to each other like, and the Atom will be like, "Do you have like food allergies? Because I have like food allergies."
Well, and one of the things that I always loved in DC Legends of Tomorrow was some characters would actually look at Palmer and just be like, "God, you're such a Boy Scout." And the first time they did that, I was like, it's because he played Superman.
Next,
Great. But I always did like him as Superman. He
He's
just
a-
had it. He suffered the same problem that one other actor who did a superhero movie did.
Terrible writing.
Yes, fucking Green Lantern movie.
Well, the Green Lantern had a lot more going on within the bad writing.
he should have been Kyle Rayner.
He should have been Kyle Rayner, but even then,
They should have fixed the suit too.
Ryan. It was a terrible CG suit,
You didn't need a CG suit.
but I really liked Ryan Reynolds as a Green Lantern. The movie sucked so much balls, it's not funny.
No, I think he could have pulled a Guy Gardner.
No, he would not have been Guy Gardner.
No.
Guy Gardner, you got to get a fucking
You need to get
football
that
jock.
Rorschach guy.
That dude would have been
You get,
awesome.
No, you just get fucking Tom Hardy. There you go.
yeah.
You get fucking beefed up Tom Hardy, fucking Guy Gardner super guy.
These guys, he's getting a
or,
four
Green Lantern.
because this is, in my opinion, the second best looking Superman behind Christopher Reeve, of course. He's gonna get a 4.9. I gave Reeve a 5.
He gets a 5.
Yeah, I'll go 4.9. I
like
do
them
think
both
Reeve,
equally.
I do think Reeve
4.
looks better.
He looks like a
here's
young
what
Reeves,
hurts him.
though.
Here's what hurts him. These track lines on the pants, trying to kind of. I know what they were doing. They were trying to modernize the costume. I get it. This was a time when they were doing that. Just like the Spider-Man costume had all those little treads on it. This was the thing they were doing. They were doing the tread thing. You could see all the treads built in. That would have been fine.
Honestly,
But
the
for
cape
some
kinda
reason they
looks like
gave
it's
him
a red
these.
leather,
They gave him
too.
these flight lines on his sides here, and they gave him flight lines on his legs. And I don't know why. For some reason, this S here,
It's a bit weird.
it's such a stupid little nitpick. It is. I'm 100% on what it is.
Well, I think they made that
But,
a little
like,
bit better with the Crisis, didn't they?
the trunks are really small to the point where they probably should have just got rid of them.
Right. Well, see, my only concern is
Because now it looks like panties, like spankies.
Well, see, that's what I was about.
No, they're
to
tidy
say.
whiteys.
No, that's what I was.
Those
about
are
to say.
spankies.
If you look hard enough on his leg right there, so on our right, which is his left,
Yeah.
it looks like the material is so fucking thin, you could see his fucking boxer briefs through the fucking suit.
Right.
So that's why I mean, like, The suit
I didn't hate his
itself-
cape. His cape was darker. It was like a leather. You're right. It does kind of
It's
look
got
like
that
a
nice
leather.
little sheen to it, and I like that. It's aesthetically
Right.
pleasing to me.
I really liked him. I thought he got fucked. I thought if they would have given one more damn movie, he would have taken the world by storm. He would have been a generational Superman.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
really, truly fucking believe that. I watched that Superman movie many times, and there are things in that Superman Returns movie that are fucking fantastic when he is left to moments alone.
When he
It seems to be the surrounding cast and the awful story that fucks this Superman.
he has 3 magnificent scenes: the airplane scene,
Save the plane.
the guy shooting him in his eye jelly,
Yep. Eye jelly bullet.
and only because of
And
the
the
badass
landing.
that landing when he confronts Lex at the end, and he just comes down on that island like, I'm done playing around.
He's
Yeah,
just like,
I
"Bow!"
I
And he's
enjoyed
like,
that moment he
"Fuck
had
you."
up in space, just listening.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
that was a he was
I'm
like,
telling you right now, if you
And
watch
that's what
this
Superman
movie,
does, too. He floats out there. He's like, who fucking needs some help today?
I'll bet you could make a top 10 list of great moments inside of an awful movie, and all 10 of them you could find in this movie. Because the movie is bad.
I'll
I'm
tell you
not
what-
oblivious.
What you can't add to that list, anything in Space Mutiny.
Anyway, so 4.66.
New costume.
Oh, is that from the Crisis?
This is the Crisis costume.
This is the first version of the Crisis costume. There's the second.
This
is-
is based on Kingdom Come Superman.
Oh, okay.
the most
And holy fucking shit.
the most powerful iteration of Superman ever.
If you look up, I don't think you got a side by side, did you? If you look up the Kingdom Come Superman,
I think I did.
this guy is so fucking spot on. It's disgusting.
I thought I did, but I don't know.
God damn it, dude.
He even got the white in his hair
Yeah.
because this is when Superman.
I'm really loving the red leather.
he did, okay. In
Like, for the boots, that's fucking
in
phenomenal.
Crisis, he changed. Did become a little. I want to say darker because of what happened.
Because of what happened to him, he's still playing Reeves Superman, but he's playing Reeves Superman after a horrifically tragic event crashed his universe where the Joker blew up the Daily Planet and he lost his mentor, he lost his secondary father figure, he lost his best friend, and he lost his wife. A man who has lost so much, he should not even be able to carry the mantle anymore. It would break any other man. But Superman, and this is what fucking Hollywood can't figure out, is a symbol of hope. He is the driving force that puts us into the future. No matter what weighs him down, he will overcome it, and he will stand as a symbol for and of humanity. He is hope incarnate. You can't dark him up, make him a brood character, and play off 3 fucking movies like that, because it doesn't work. Nobody wants your dark Superman. They want this. He is dark. His life is made darker. But in every scene that this guy appears in,
He's still the beacon of hope.
he is the beacon that is moving us forward. That is fucking Superman.
Because when we don't see him in this costume, he more or less is still the Clark we know from
Yes.
Christopher.
He 100% is still that guy, but he will tell you straightforward, he's like, a lot has happened.
My life has gone to hell in a handbasket and back. And
Yeah.
back to hell.
Oh, and
Guess
I'm
what?
and I'm
That's-
editor in
it's
chief
okay.
too.
Yeah, that's even how it is in the book. He'll still be, okay, how's it going, guys? All right. As soon as everybody leaves, just, oh, fuck.
Like, I need like 5 minutes of myself, guys.
I need a cigarette.
Batman
paper.
That's
shows up
him.
and he's like,
And that's it right there. Planet Attack. That's the gas bomb. Joker gassed their
oh, he hit him with the Joker toxin.
killed every person that, because you got to understand, the Daily Planet is not just the Daily Planet. For Superman,
That's home.
this is his link to all of humanity that he knows and understands. This, and if you read the comics, there are people in this that are important to him in so many ways. There's an asshole jockey guy. He's an asshole. But he is part of humanity's representation, and Superman, Clark Kent, accepts that and even respects that dickhead. There is a skank. Yes, she is. Okay, she really is. She's out to get them super nuts. But He just sees her as an openly sexual lady who's not fucking willing to bend her ways and just lives that provocative life and whatever. He doesn't look down on her for it. That's another representation of people in the world. If you look through the Daily Planet, there are multiple representations of people that he knows will encounter and of are the world. And that building almost represents the exact same thing he is trying to help in the world. People living lives the way they want to live lives. And everything is taken from him. His surrogate
Except for
father,
his-
his friend, his wife,
His son is still alive.
his
though.
representations, everybody is gone. Yeah.
Single dad Superman.
But this
But
fight,
it does not break him.
this fight scene between him and the new CW Superman. Let's just say the new CW Superman needs to go work out.
actually, from what I've seen with that fight, that's the only good fight I've seen with this new Superman from CW.
No, that new Superman has a fight with Supergirl that's pretty fucking standout. They tear the fuck out of that city.
Considering everything else I've seen from the CW
No.
Superman,
No, that Superman has moments. You just don't care for
He
him.
needs to work
I'm
out.
telling you.
I haven't
he is-
seen him, though. That's
he
the thing.
has moments. You need to watch more of the show. I'm telling
Brandon,
you, he
Brandon
does.
Superman wrecks the fucking shit out of him.
Like, look at him right here. That hits. I just don't know how else to say it. That thought. He's not angry. He's not.
You
He's
can
not
see,
ready to.
you can see the pain in
He's
his eyes.
distraught.
Yes, there is a distraught, but he is here, and he is going to do what he. I'm telling
No,
you.
I think technically it's a distraught in both the character and the actor because he's back in the Superman suit that he wish he could have continued to.
No, he talks about that actually. There are interviews where you can listen to how he talked about how getting back in the suit and how one of the things he appreciated the most is that this was a little challenging for him, that he knew he was coming back into this suit and he wanted it to be right, and if it wasn't going to be right, he wasn't even going to put it on. Walking out, he had Grant fanboying because Grant Gustin is a huge fucking Superman fan, like a jerking off fucking excitability.
And you know him.
And he was fanboying all over the fucking studio. Oh my god, it's a fucking Superman! Like, fucking.
Yeah, I think I saw an image with both him and the two Supermen together. So,
Smile for the camera.
And there-
That's the
there's-
Superman staple.
and there's the
Yep, and
normal
they put
color.
it back in the yellow.
Yeah.
Because after everything goes down, they repair part of his universe and they kind of bring him back to what he was. Now,
All right, I've got a really dumb question. Did I already use my Genesis bomb for superheroes? I don't think I have.
Unless you did for Batman somewhere.
No, I didn't.
what's behind you?
I think I was going to save mine for Doctor Strange. But there's only one costume for Doctor Strange.
Well, by the time we get to him, there might be like 3. So,
Those are Harley Quinns.
Hey, Seth. Unless it's retroactively, unless it has to get retroactively changed, Genesis for this one. I'm pretty sure I didn't.
Yeah, I don't think you did either, but I don't
I know I've used it for writers. I think I've used it for Sentai.
You have. You've used it on writers and Sentai.
But so I've got it for superheroes.
In fact, to be fair, I think you've used it twice on Sentai.
no, I
Because
didn't.
we forgot, but
I think we all forgot and might have double nuked something too, but that's
Yeah,
fine.
that's true.
So, yes, it gets the Genesis. It's a 6.
That is who he is.
That's fucking amazing.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a 6. I'm going to give him the 6.
Okay.
It's Genesis time,
For
motherfuckers.
me, I love that suit.
Yes.
But
Don't you
if
dare.
I did not give a nuke to my favorite superhero of all time, I can't give him one either. So he's gonna just get a 5.
Wait, did we already do the Flash?
Damn right, we did the
Oh.
Flash, and I didn't
Yeah.
get because
I missed that episode.
because the right Flash costumes were not in that because it weren't live action. My favorite
Or
Flash.
was I here for that?
My favorite Flash shoot is from the animation.
I don't remember. to
I
be
don't
fair.
remember either.
I like this a lot. This, to me, is
gave it
a
a 5
solid
yeah.
100% 5.
Dude, this is ripped off the comics that you
I
just showed
I
us.
cannot believe how good this is. And here's the real kicker. That's a television budget.
Yep.
television budgets have gotten.
And I'm
going to
tell you this right now.
Oh,
that
shit.
yeah,
Television budgets, like ever since
he
the
looks
show
better.
Fringe came out.
He looks better than the movie Superman that is currently running.
Well, Henry Cavill sucks.
It's not even about that. It's that costume. He looks better on a television budget.
Thank you, Nick.
You're welcome.
Actually,
I fucking hate
now
Cavill.
now I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna do this. Cavill's not a bad Superman. Hear me out. Because they made him dark. Writing means everything.
It does.
To your story. I don't care. Okay, yes, the costume is not the greatest, but it's also not that bad.
We're going to get there.
When we get Cavill is not a bad Superman. It's just that he's written bad. Because they
The
made him dark.
costume's not terrible for him, but I don't like him as Superman because of the way they made him.
4.5.
Okay, anyway.
Yeah, I put him on par with
5.1.
Yes!
I actually can't remember, but I thought they were gonna. I thought Henry was jumping to Marvel. Can't remember what character they were wanting him to.
Should we change the score with a yellow? Or
Yellow.
not?
The suit is a little bit brighter on the blue. The cape is a little brighter. The yellow pops the colors. It is different.
God damn it, Bill.
It is. Look,
I
See
know, but God
everything
damn it.
about him is darker, lighter. The tonal change changes the costume.
And not only that, but once again,
I
the
can't
smiles
use,
back.
I can't use a second six.
Yes.
Yep.
That smiles.
And that
back.
I'm going to give a 5 again.
Same.
There are
me
3
a 5.
Supermans that get
It's a
5s
5.
from me.
Because I can't give it another 6.
Christopher gets a 5. He gets a 5 twice.
Yeah, I get a 5.
Even though it's a continuation of the Christopher Reeve one, I can't give it a 5.
I can. I think that he would have been
4.9.
I'm telling you, if Brandon would have been given the fucking chance, he would have been a generational Superman.
4.98. We can go.
No doubt in my mind, he
And-
would have been our generation Superman.
And he's a nice guy. I actually met him.
Yes, I did too.
He's a nice guy.
Yeah,
I would love to meet
I've met
Brandon
him
Ross.
twice now.
I met him at Comic-Con, and you know what? You know, it was awesome.
Like, one of my favorite episodes of Tabletop that I have ever seen was the one that Brandon Roth was in.
Dude, he's just a stellar guy.
Ben Affleck. Now, the only
Because
context,
he's Superman.
the only
he's
context
Batman.
I'm going to give you here is Ben is not playing Superman. He's playing George Reeves.
I actually was thinking,
Oh, okay.
to be honest with you, that picture, I know it's not the
Yep.
best picture, but I'm going to tell you something right now. That's who I was
You
actually.
might need to.
That's
Okay.
exactly who he is.
Yeah, that's exactly
He's
who I.
playing George Reeves.
That's exactly who I thought.
Yep.
Oh, he's.
This moment actually happened to George. This was real. It did happen. And it showcases just how fucking important, because I think some actors, they don't give a fuck. They don't. They just put on the costume because it's a fucking job, and they do the fucking job, and they never realize how important these fucking things are. This is a modern-day mythology. Superheroes are never to be taken lightly. If you are going to wear the fucking cape, everything about you must adapt to the idea that you have now worn the cape, and you must respect that material day in and day out. Because if you don't know what the fuck is coming. And even if you do, you could be in trouble. George was confronted by a child during a live appearance that had a gun. And he wanted to see the bullet bounce off his icon. That is a real fucking thing. It really fucking happened.
And he talked the kid down by saying, yeah, it's going to bounce off of me,
George walked,
but it
yes.
could hurt someone else.
That's it. George never broke
I remember
character.
seeing this scene.
He stopped and turned around and he said, I understand. I do. I get it. But look, even though that bullet's not going to hurt me, we have to think about the people here. We have to think about all the people that what we do affects the people around us. Because when you pull that trigger, I'll be fine. But somebody here won't be fine. I'm the only one bulletproof in the audience today. And when that bullet ricochets off of me, it might kill somebody else. give me the gun. We don't want to hurt anybody. And the kid handed the gun over. It seems so trivial, and it's a fucked up hero moment in real life, but these characters are bigger than people tend to realize, and the actors don't know it sometimes. You hold power when you represent one of these mythologies, and you can literally change parts of the world if you do it right, and you could harm parts if you do it wrong.
Yep.
In that case, George was a fucking hero.
Yes.
He was Superman.
Yep.
That's why
And that is who he is playing. He
That's-
is playing George. And as him just posing as George, this is a superhero costume, but he's
Yep.
supposed to be playing that guy. And just taking the movie away,
It's Ben Affleck playing the guy who played Superman playing Superman.
and when you looked at him, the first thing you thought before I even told you was it was George. Because of that, I grant him a 5, only because, not because the suit is great, but because it didn't take you a second to be like, oh, fuck, he's playing that other Superman. You knew he wasn't playing Superman.
Yep.
That is important. It's very interesting because even though George doesn't get a 5, he looks like George.
Yep.
That impresses
the
me.
character of
He gets
George
a 5.
Reeves
I'll agree.
is a 5.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm agreeing.
4.
Damn fucking buttons. Okay. 4.8.
Matt Bomer.
Ooh.
Oh.
It's for
okay.
a commercial.
Yeah, I remember this. It's a Superman commercial thing for a car.
For a Prius.
A Prius of all
Yep.
cars.
Prius.
0. Get your fucking namby-pamby little bitch car off my road, super guy.
Oh, shit.
Oh, man.
The timing was perfect. Bill goes, for a car. And Nick goes, for
0. No, he said for a car, and I said for a Prius. 0. Fuck that.
That was fucking beautiful.
Oh, shit.
There are moments where I have good timing, damn it.
Listen to me.
Usually Bill sets me up and I knock him down.
I'm going.
Sadly, I have to agree. This guy gets 0. Car commercial guy. I just don't give a fuck.
Car commercial Superman.
Okay,
can
first
suck
off,
a dick.
I'm gonna. I know I preach
One.
this.
His curl's even wrong.
I know I preach this,
It's on the wrong side.
but call me a hypocrite this one time. I'm gonna break the thing I preach, and because a car is an aesthetic, actually, but it's
We're
costume.
looking at Superman, not the car.
But I am going to break this one time, and because I'm sorry in the chat, if you own a Prius, you are wrong. Get a real fucking car. 0. Priuses suck.
So it gets added to the list.
I'm going according to the costume.
I'll be a
That's
hypocrite.
what we should be doing. So 3.
I agree. Listen, I
Point
agree.
8 Golden Turd Award.
I agree that you are right, Scott. I'm supposed to look past the car commercial,
But,
But
when
I-
the whole thing is a car commercial,
just can't. Henry
can't.
Cavill.
That's why I gave him a 1.
Okay, let's see the Cavill suit. There we
don't-
go.
Like I
the
told-
mesh is I know what they're trying to do with it. It's just,
I almost wish he just would have not had a belt thing at all.
yeah, that would have probably
Yeah.
helped, but
2.
because of that belt thing, it doesn't go with the mesh.
I don't think I. Here's the thing. Remember when I was telling you that they have weird callbacks? His sleeves, I think, are a callback to the sweater thing. Maybe they didn't think that far and that extreme into the continuity of the world of Superman when they built this costume. But there's something about him having these weird sleeves that make me feel like they're calling back to something.
Right.
Now, I'm going to tell you this right now. Because of he's not wearing his red underwear, this is, take away the mesh. This is basically DC 52.
Yeah.
Right.
Because of the,
If they had gotten rid of the belt shit, if they had gotten rid of the mesh,
that's basically,
it would have looked a lot better. But because they got that dumbass belt thing and the mesh, he's got these weird pseudo bracer things that don't look like they belong at all. No, this guy sucks. He gets a 1.5.
People are saying it's way too desaturated and things like that.
I agree.
Looks sun damaged and everything. I'm about to lose the chat.
Scratch that. Make
1%
mine a
on my phone.
1.
I agree
Hey,
with the
Bill.
chat.
Here, have your phone charger.
Here's him standing there. Oh shit! I didn't even know I had such a thing.
Yeah, I stole it from your bedroom, so that way I could charge my phone.
Got to move your phone, buddy.
It's like I
Well,
knew I
yes
was
and
going to
no.
run out of power.
'Cause
I
it'll
don't
be
have
there, it's just
unlimited
somewhere it'll
power.
Kind of
Now,
fade.
unfortunately, because this is like I was saying earlier,
Accidentally
I don't
fell
think
through the
Henry
mic.
did a bad job as Superman. His Clark Kent, aha!
What Clark Kent?
His Clark Kent needs a lot of work. A lot
Shane,
of work.
What Clark Kent?
Well, he wore glasses.
People are already saying I'm going to give it a very low score. I even heard one person was down here like, I think it was Ronan. He was like, low score because it's Bill. He may be right, but it's just.
Oh
my God, Shrek face Superman.
Yep.
Oh my God!
Like this is
What did
really.
I give him again?
It's not just the costume.
1.5,
This
I
is
think.
really
Yeah,
dark.
no, 0. Fuck that.
It's really fucking dark, and I know I'm not supposed to look at the subject matter. I get it, but damn it. It's him, too. It isn't just the subject matter. Look at him. That stern, that, like, hard face, the body, the way he holds himself, like, the darkness, all that rain and shit just adds to it. Like, he's dark fucking Superman. And this is not the same thing as what Christopher Reeves was when his inhibitions were turned away because he was infected by something. This guy's a dick.
He's definitely a dick. He doesn't care about. Listen, I know they were in a warehouse area, but he doesn't care about traffic safety. He stood there while Batman ran into him. Okay, Batman is a man. Okay, and you hit literally a man of steel.
No. All right. Here's what happened. Shane, this is more accurate. You have
a
Batman
fucking
going
indent to this
100
microphone on my
miles an
forehead
hour.
Now.
Yeah, Batman going about 100 miles an hour and hit an immovable object. That's what happened. He didn't hit a man of steel. A man of steel will move. He hit an immovable fucking object. He hit the Chrysler building.
And did not say sorry. You're a dick, Superman.
Fucking
Batman is always a dick. That is his personality.
Batman was just driving.
Yeah. Fucking
To
douchebag.
be fair, there's another argument to make here. Batman was driving around, shooting motherfuckers with the car, blowing shit up, killing people, literal fucking affirmative death. And no, I'm not going to make the argument that Batman doesn't kill. First off, if you believe that, you're fucking wrong. Batman fucking kills. In a cinematic sense, Batman has fucking killed his whole goddamn career in the cinematic sense.
Yeah.
You cannot fucking praise Michael Keaton, who literally shot motherfuckers with bullets, threw them off bell towers, and blew them up with bombs with a smile, a sadistic serial killer's grin, and then fucking tell me that Batman doesn't kill people and that's the reason you like one guy over the other guy. That's not my fucking argument here at all.
Now,
Well,
But
I mean,
Superman.
Technically, I could argue that because I like when
Superman
Batman
does
kills people.
not kill
But Superman...
until these movies.
Superman has an egregious amount of power and could kill you on accident and doesn't
By
kill.
sneezing.
He has one confirmed kill in his history of cinematic on-screen that I know about.
Zod.
One kill. He killed Zod. He snapped a neck. And guess what? This dude is the only dude that ever did it.
You might want to count Nuclear Man as a second one.
He doesn't kill Nuclear Man.
Nuclear Man kills himself.
I
Basically.
thought
He
Nuclear Man
does not kill Nuclear Man. He throws Nuclear Man into a nuclear power plant and uses him as a power reserve. And this may sound crazy, but that imprisons Nuclear Man because there's no sunlight in there, so he has no power. But if you're still feeding off his power, he also made something positive out of that negativity by creating a power source that is renewable for that planet. He did not kill Nuclear Man.
Shine
He
some
threw
sunlight
him.
on him,
turned
and
him
he'll come
into
back.
an infinite battery.
He's still in there. He didn't die. He's
Okay.
made of nuclear power. He threw him into a nuclear power plant, and he is
said,
basically
"You power
powering
the
that
planet
power
now,
plant."
bitch.
Because if you're watching the movie, when he does that, all the knobs and shit go boo, and fucking all the power comes up because he just gave that power plant a bunch of crazy power. He didn't kill that guy.
So technically, in both movie universes, he killed Zod.
No. Superman also, there's an argument to be made for Zod, not the other two. Lois basically kills Ursa.
Yeah.
And
The other big guys
Non
are.
is a dumbass.
He killed himself.
He killed himself.
But Superman picked
But
up
Superman did pick up Zod and throw him into a
crystal
after,
wall,
after
bottomless
breaking
fucking
his
pit.
hand.
broke his
He
hand.
broke his hand, threw him into an ice wall, and let him slide down a crystal wall, and let him slide down to a bottomless pit. Argument could be made that he killed that guy.
Let's just go
But
ahead.
then again, there was that deleted scene where they get arrested. So
It's not just that, but actually, no, he still didn't kill that guy. Because the actual ending of that movie, which we didn't get till years later, Superman goes back in time and deletes the entire Kryptonian attack from existence anyway, so Zod is still in the mirror. He's still in the Phantom Zone. So he's not dead. Once again, Superman killed nobody.
except for Zod.
Except for
Except for
Zod,
this Zod.
and it was this guy that killed that Zod.
And he
so
went in-
you are officially the only fucking Superman on camera to make an official fucking kill.
And not only that, but he wouldn't have had to have killed him if those people would have just moved.
ran.
You know what else he could have done?
Flew. Damn you,
Into
hindsight.
space.
Fly up.
Damn you, hindsight.
Fly
You
Grab
are no
Zod,
longer, or
fly.
you know what also would have helped? Remove that motherfucker from the city. You don't have to punch through buildings, Superman.
No, just punt him in the fucking nuts and just launch him
Now-
out of the fucking state. Done.
Argument to be made.
Punch him
yes,
up in space.
Christopher
There you go.
Christopher fought 3 people in the city, but a difference. Once again, Superman oversees the likeliness of the human race as a symbol of hope and protection. When Superman fought 3 Kryptonians in the middle of Metropolis and realized that people had become a form of cannon fodder, what did he do?
He ran.
He ran. He ran like a bitch. And it wasn't for his sake, it was for ours. As long as he stood his ground and fought against Zod in the city, we
We're
were
in danger.
at stake.
But the second he was like, no, I think we're going to move this somewhere else. If you guys really want to fight me that bad, you can come along.
He purposely took a fundamental hit to his own pride and said, you win. And he flew the fuck away. If you want to fight me, you'll have to come out to the middle of nowhere where I fight. Because that is where I'll fight you.
And I'll give you a fight.
I will not fight you here any longer because these people are now in danger. Now, could they have just started fucking slaughtering people and he had no chance to come back? He had no choice to come back. Yes, that could have happened. It did not happen. He took a calculated risk that they hated him enough to follow him. He was right. He got us out of the way.
In this movie, they
In this
tore
movie-
Metropolis down.
In this movie, he tore the fuck up out of Metropolis.
Not just Metropolis, but the other side of the planet where that other machine was, too.
Killed hundreds of motherfucking people, thousands of motherfucking people, and then broke Zod's neck. You can argue that he had to kill. You can argue that he had to kill Zod. There are arguments to be made. It doesn't help his character
Nope.
It makes him too dark.
Yep.
because he's already dark before he even makes that kill.
Legendary Godzilla has destroyed less buildings and thus killed less people than Cavill.
And Godzilla's a
Not
monster.
fucking wrong, yeah.
Godzilla is a ginormous monster. And he kills less.
Rate that man's costume.
2.
Oh, I already did.
Big fat goose egg.
You're a goose egg. You're
Fuck
a 2.
this guy.
I gave him a 1.
You gave him a 1.
I'm
Actually,
a
wait.
1-5.
Wait. Have I used my nuke yet?
Ouch.
Because I don't think I used my nuke in Batman.
Okay.
I don't think you have, but now
Fuck
you're gonna
this
make me
guy.
fucking do everything all over again.
Fuck
So,
this guy in particular.
Normally, I would sit at a 2 because I could look right at this guy and tell you, he's Superman. He didn't look right to me. His character isn't right. I'm not supposed to
But
be
I can
rating
tell
on his
that's
character.
Superman.
That's Superman. I could tell it. So it puts him at a 2. However, the darkness of his costume, and sadly, I do fall into my knowledge of Superman at this point, I drop him down to a 1 because he is too dark, even if he fits the mold. Because, god damn it, that motherfucker's built. And in certain times, he does look like Superman. There are weird moments where he'll smile or turn the right way or give off just the proper glance, and I can see it.
He could have been a great Superman.
Well, he has a chance to be another superhero because I heard that they wanting to cast him as a Marvel character.
I was hearing that, yeah.
This character,
Which one?
Wolverine.
Holy shit.
Dude, that is a large set of shoes to fill.
But then there are people now that actually love Hugh Jackman. I'm one of them.
Yes.
And Marvel's actually trying to contact Hugh Jackman, too.
Now, I
He
hear
doesn't
won't
need to
come
come
back.
back.
But
He needs to stay the fuck away, or he'll ruin what we have going with the Marvel Universe because he's too old. I love Hugh Jackman, but you can't keep playing that character. It's like Data. Data's too fat to be Data now.
Yep.
Now, I'm going to tell you this. I love Hugh Jackman, but like Bill says, he needs to stay away from the character. You played the character for 17 years. I'm satisfied. But I also heard that they wanted Cavill, but then I also heard that they want to go short guy this time to actually
Which would make
play
more
on the
fucking
Wolverine
sense.
character.
Right.
Wolverine's a fucking 5-foot tall murderous midget.
I also,
Okay.
That's why I still say they just need to make it motherfucking Carl Urban. If you want a new Wolverine?
Yeah,
there
that
the
would
fuck
be
you go.
perfect.
Okay, here we go.
Wait,
we are.
what
I'm
did-
sorry.
What did my nuke do to this son of a bitch?
We kind of saved him a tiny bit. He's at a 0.1. I said a
Holy
tiny bit.
fuck!
How the hell did you save him with a nuke?
Because I have a 1.5. I've got a 2. I got a 1. God damn it. Hold on. Now I got to pull it back up. So I have a 1, a 1.5, a 2, and a 1. So hold on. So let's see. 1.5, 2, 1. There we go. Plus. Damn it. Go to buttons. 1 is a 5.5. Then we nuke it at a -5. So it's a 0.5. You divide that by 5, it's a 0.1. He
guess.
has a cunt hair's worth of health. So we kind of saved him.
I got 1 hit point. Let's do this.
Pretty much.
All right, I'll throw the smallest of kryptonite pebbles at him.
And then he's dead.
Here
But
we
actually,
go.
no, I'll fucking just take a piece of kryptonite, put it in my mouth, get my saliva a little kryptonite-y, throw a piece of paper in there, and then spitball him through the eyeball.
There you go.
Okay,
Fuck
we are
him.
going to go on to the present Tyler Hoechlin. I may have said that name wrong. I actually didn't know this guy's name until right now. I knew who he was. I knew he was Tyler. His last name I did not know
I
until
knew his
just-
last name. I just never really said
Yep.
it right.
So this is 2016. This is the Supergirl's Superman.
Yes.
Okay, first considerations. I could see it. TV budget, big S, nice. His face is fine. I feel like maybe he could be a little bigger of a dude, but what are you going to do? I mean, that's just like arguing that Hugh Jackman is not Wolverine because he's fucking 6 foot something.
Yeah.
You could make that argument, but let's be real here.
Hugh Jackman
beings-
is Wolverine.
Human beings have certain limitations that we're going to have trouble filling. Like
Yep.
finding a 5'4" Wolverine is going to be really hard to fucking do.
Right.
Yeah.
How are you?
More than 5.
No, not 6. 5'10".
Can't be Wolverine.
I can't be. I'm 6'1".
I'm over 6.
That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
It would be very hard to fill certain
Seth can't
criteria
because he's too fat.
if you
I'm
wanted to nitpick that
5'11",
hard.
and I'm too fat. I can be the blob.
I
can be
immediately
blob
go
all
for
my
that
fucking
one.
day. Well, no,
He's-
I can't be blob because
he's
I'm
like
not allowed to be babyface.
Well, that and I think Blob's like 6'5" or something like that. He's a huge motherfucker.
He's taller
Right.
than his cousin.
yeah.
Yes, but let's talk about him.
You-
I don't mind him,
Wow, he
but he's not buff.
He's a small dude for Superman.
Yeah.
He is a small dude.
and that
The really weird thing is, it's probably just the angle, the glare, and the fact that my eyes are fucking defocusing. From the angle I'm sitting at, and the way he's just staring like that, all I'm getting is David Tennant 10th Doctor feel.
Yeah. I can see that.
The thing that always throws me off with this new CW Superman is the thing that's attaching his cape on.
that buckle thing.
Oh, the
Yeah.
hooks.
And you guys
Yeah.
are right. This dude looks like he needs to not skip arm day anymore.
Right.
Oh, to be fair, he needs it more than you know. His cousin right there will whoop the fucking shit out of him.
Dude, she does. He's a bitch.
He's actually a weak
That's
Superman.
that's my biggest fucking problem with Supergirl. My biggest fucking problem is they took Supergirl, made female Superman.
He's already beaten him in a
Then,
fight.
on
It's
top
Earth
of that,
59
over and
Superman.
over and over again, she
Or
hasn't just beat
52.
She didn't just beat him in a fight.
It's actually 38.
She's beat him at
Oh.
almost fucking everything.
Earth
She
38 Superman sucks.
she was given to be the symbol of hope
Yep.
in the terms in the crisis thing. Not only was she given to be the symbol of hope, she very much was the one that was like, while Superman was like, "Fuck it, we're in trouble now, we've lost," and she's like, "Blah blah blah," fucking promotional speech, and he's like, "You're right,
Motivational.
Yep, I'm
Promotional
fucking ready."
speech. Let's get ready to rumble.
She's promoting her brand.
But look, it's
I'm
not
gonna
just
promote
that.
myself
It's not
up in this
just that.
business.
Every single time they meet up, there's something he can't do and she can do. They constantly take things away from him and give them to her so she can stand out. He is a writing trope in this show, just like Worf. Need the situation to seem like a big deal? Beat up that Superman. Now it seems like a big deal. Now when she steps in and whoops that ass, she seems really good. And they do that all the time. She's faster. She's stronger. Her I-beams are tougher. She's smarter than him. She's fucking more tactically sound than he is. She gets all the fucking cool moments.
She's hotter than him.
Oh,
Well, but that's already a given.
that's sexual preference.
yeah.
You
To be fair, I'm sure there are plenty of gay guys that would lob on his knob.
To be honest, he's
Right.
not
He
a
doesn't look like a bad
No,
dude.
he's not a bad-looking guy at all. If I was gay, I would talk to him.
Right.
You would talk to him. huh?
Talk to him.
That's
Yeah,
about it.
yeah, no.
He has to be interested in me.
He has to be. Yeah,
Seth,
he doesn't have an interest.
Seth,
I don't think he's gay.
Shane would be talking to him, going, ah.
It's true.
Notice
Shane does that
Throw
with
your
me.
super on that.
Shane.
Yeah, Shane
noticed
does
me.
that with me all the time. We'll have a conversation. Like,
Oh my god.
What the shit?
life support Superman? What the
I-
fuck?
That's I question that because I found 2 of those, so I don't know.
I don't remember what was going on here.
It's probably in her show.
Yeah, I don't understand
This
why
could be this could be the solar suit. Because there is
Oh,
enough.
yeah.
there is a type of solar enhancement thing that Superman has worn in the comics that allows him to
Yeah, but
power
Store-
fastly.
Yeah, but
and
usually
store
the
batter-
solar
or
suit
basically-
is just a black suit
Well-
with the silver S.
Yeah, but they've been trying to
Yeah.
stay away from that shit because
But we
of
got the black
Henry
suit in
Cavill.
here, so.
Well, yeah.
They're
fair
trying
enough.
to
It's
avoid a lot of
too
the
dark.
darkness. And still,
know, Brandon
still
Routh
they did. They
pulled off
saved
the dark.
No, they saved that suit for a reason too, because they use it in the pre-stories to see solar enhancement. I told you.
Okay.
The black suit will later be used to represent the different Superman created by the Book of Reality.
Okay.
Okay. Fair enough.
And
This
there
one.
it is. Because that will be
That's not bad looking.
that will
No.
be a bad guy version of Superman after this dude opens up the Book of Reality and rewrites himself as Superman.
Zod
Similar
Superman.
similar to Injustice.
No, because he's not
in-
ruling the world. He's their hero.
Injustice
Oh.
Superman was still wearing the blue and red, though.
and he and
This
super
is
that
basically
Injustice
Zod Superman.
Injustice Superman takes over the planet. This guy did not. He was their hero still.
I actually like the black suit, to be honest with you.
The black
Yeah.
suit looks
Yeah.
better on him. That's for damn sure.
See, there's the book.
See, and that stare, like the way he's smiling and staring up now, all I'm getting is Bruce Campbell from fucking Army of Darkness.
Yeah, I'm
Just
that's
busting
what
open
I
the
was about to
Necronomicon.
ask.
Klaatu brought it. I said the words.
I said the goddamn words. I didn't
Okay.
say them in the right order.
You know what?
I didn't say every syllable.
3.8. He doesn't bother me.
Wait,
have
are
to-
we rating both?
Yes, we are.
So this suit right here,
This suit, 2.8. I don't really care for it.
Deuce.
I give it a 3.8. 'cause
I can give it a 3. I think this sets a
Yeah.
modern standard. He doesn't have the spank